Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how we can make a post on a particular Facebook group on behalf of a user. Somebody asked me in the comments section to make a video on this particular topic, so I'm making it now. So these are the 6 steps that I'll be explaining throughout this video. I'll explain each and every step and show you how we can make use of all the endpoints which are present in all these steps. So let's start. So first of all, I'll create one Facebook client app. This Facebook developers website. I'll go to my apps section and I'll create an app. I've already created a video on creating a Facebook app and setting up Facebook login in that particular client app. So in this video, I'm not going to explain that process much. I'll quickly create a client app and set up Facebook login in our client app. In case you are having some issue creating a client app and setting up Facebook login in your client app, you can refer that video, or there are multiple videos on that topic on YouTube. You can go through any of the video on YouTube and understand how you can create a Facebook client app and set up Facebook login. I'll also add my YouTube video on this topic in I button and in the description section. So in case you want, you can check that out also. So I've created a client app with name my group message app. Now in this app, I'll set up Facebook login. So I'm done setting up Facebook login in my Facebook client app. Now what I'll do, I'll call OAuth API and get authorization code. So this is the endpoint which I have to call in order to get the authorization code. So in this particular API, I'll just have to change the client ID. I'll have to provide the client ID of the client app, whichever I have created right now. And also you will have to provide the redirect URI, which should be URL encrypted. I have covered all these things in my other video where I have set up Facebook login, but in this video I'm just explaining it quickly. So this redirect URI is URL encoded and there's a state param. So these 3 parameters we have to provide in our API call. So I'll quickly replace my client ID on Facebook developers website. I'll click on settings, I'll click on basic, and here I will be able to get my client ID. So this is my client ID. I'll copy it. Now we are done. I'll simply make a get request from my browser directly. So after hitting that API, I got this page, and this page clearly says that this is my client app name. This app name is requesting access to my profile, to my name and profile picture. So basically this is my client app and I'm already logged in to my Facebook account. So my client app basically wants these accesses from my users so that my client app can make API calls on my Facebook users behalf. So I'll give the access. I'll click on continue. After clicking on continue, I got a authorization code. Now once this API call is successful, I'll make another API call. Now this particular API call gave me just 2 permissions, the name and profile picture of a particular user, but my client app also wants access through which it can make any group post on my user's behalf. So in order to get group post and group show access, there are some permissions which I have to give. So there's a different API that I have to hit in order to get those permissions. So this is the endpoint through which I can get my Facebook client app will get access to post to a particular group and to get a list of all the groups to which a user belongs to with this particular endpoint. So I've already replaced the client ID in this endpoint, and these are the scope. So this scope is actually the permissions that my client app will request from any Facebook user. So there are 2 permissions. That is, first one is publish to group and the second one is groups show list. It's clear from the name itself that publish to groups permission is a permission which will allow my client app to publish or make any post to any Facebook group, and groups show list the permission which will allow my client app to fetch the list of all the groups a user belongs to. Right now I'm requesting for these 2 permissions from my Facebook user. Why am I requesting for these 2 permissions is I'll have to make use of some group ID. That is why I'm requesting for this particular permission, because I don't know the group ID. I know the group name, but in order to post to a Facebook group, you have to know the group ID. So how will I able to know the group ID? I will have to fetch the list of all the groups, and in that response I will get the group ID, and then using that group ID I'll make a call to publish to that group. So this is the permission. This is the second permission. So let me again make a get request from my browser. So after making a get request, this is what I got. So this page again clearly says that this my client ID is requesting for list of groups and post content into groups on my behalf. So these are the two permissions which my client app is requesting for from my Facebook user. I'll click continue, and now I got the authorization code again. So this time I'm going to use this authorization code, and I will exchange this authorization code with an access token. So that access token I can use to make group posts. The authorization code that we got earlier can only be used to fetch the name and profile picture of a user. So I have copy pasted the authorization code. Now I will have to exchange this authorization code with an access token. So this is the endpoint for which I can exchange the authorization code with access token. I'll copy paste the authorization code in this endpoint, and now I'll make again a GET request from my browser. In this endpoint, I have replaced the client ID and the client secret. On the Facebook developers page itself, this is the client ID and the client secret. So this is what I have pasted in the endpoint. So after making the GET request, I have received the access token. Now using this access token, I will be able to make group post and group show API calls. So this is the endpoint to get all the groups, to get the list of groups to which my Facebook user belongs to. So I have pasted my access token, and again I'll make a GET request from my browser. Okay, so after making the GET request, this is what I got in response. This is the JSON response that I've got. So these are all the groups to which my user belongs to. So this is the group which I have created for this video itself, where I can make a group post from my user's behalf. So I'll use this group ID, and I'll call the Facebook group post API to post some message in this group. And you can see that in response there are different group IDs as well. So in whichever group you want to make some post, you can use that particular group ID. So right now in this video I'll make post to this particular group ID. So I'll copy the group ID. So everything is done. Now we are only left with one API call. We just have to make one post request through which we will be able to post some message in a particular group. This is the endpoint where you'll have to provide the group ID in which group you want to make this post, and you will have to provide the access token, and also this will be a post request, HTTP post request. So in the body of the post request you will provide, there is a message param. So in message you can pass whatever message you want to post in that group. So as you can see, I'm making the post request from my Postman application. So I've already pasted the endpoint, I've already replaced the group ID, and in query param I have also provided the access token key and its value, and in the body I have added a key which is message, and here I'll provide whatever message we want to post in our group. So this is the message that I'm going to post in my group. So now we are done. I'll simply click on send. So that's it. We got the ID in response. This ID is basically the post ID, whichever post we have just made. So this is a successful response. Now how can you check if your post has actually been posted in Facebook group or not? I'll go to the Facebook group and I'll see if this message appears in my Facebook group or not. So this is my Facebook group page. I'll simply refresh it and I'll scroll down. So you can see our message is being displayed in this group, and this is just 1 minute before. So we have successfully posted a message in a Facebook group using API call. So that's all we have to do in order to make a group post using Facebook APIs. I hope I was able to explain all the steps properly. I hope you are clear with all the steps. All the endpoints which I have used in this video, I'll provide all the endpoints in the description of this video. So that's all for this video. In case you have any doubt with the explanation, you can let me know in the comment section, and I'll try to make a video on that, on your doubt. Or if you have some other topics on which you want to see a video, you can let me know that also through the comment section, and I'll make a video on that topic as soon as possible. Thank you.